What up?
What up, brother?
Not much. I,
Rushing around.
guess we're gonna wait on Kevin now,
Course, black guy.
huh?
I love how I'm always like, be ready in 10 minutes. Then we blame him for being late.
Yeah, I know.
Like everyone's supposed to stop their life for me. It's like, oh, Blake's finally ready.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. It's just hard, man. We aren't even close. Like we're still putting lights up. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll probably have some discussions about things like that.
Mm.
Let me see if Kevin's on his way.
I think he said he was. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably gotta get his. He's gonna get his Marv Albert, or not Marv Albert. Is that his name? Marv Albert,
The announcer?
the commentator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he goes yes.
Yeah. I was say he's got to get his Marv Albert microphone.
My dad hated Marv Albert
Hated him?
with a passion. Like when
Really?
he was announcing a game, he would turn him off and turn on the radio.
That's how I used to be with Bill Walton.
And he would still watch the game though.
Oh wow! Just listen to the radio.
Yeah, and watch it. Like he said, he was very. He couldn't stand him because he said he was obviously very pro Jordan, and of course those were the years where
Oh,
the Pacers
man.
were good. And
Dude, that's a fun conversation.
he said it drove him nuts because he was like, every time he hit a shot, he'd go yes. And I'm like, dude, he's just saying yes. The shot went in. Like
Jordan,
he's not saying yes as
Jordan
in yay.
yeah, yeah. Jordan for three. Yes. Man, that's a fun conversation. We'll have to go down that road a little bit.
The last time I talked to my dad, he had to stop watching basketball. He had to stop watching basketball. Like he couldn't watch it anymore
Because of just
I don't know, man.
everything.
And this may be why I don't really like. I like sports, but I really don't care. Like he would get so into it, and it would just super stress him out. And I was
it's
just
funny that we do that.
I was like, dude, you're gonna have a heart attack, legit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's a fun conversation. We'll save that. I'm thinking all types of different things right now, but yeah. We'll have to try to bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about Dave Chappelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you happen to see? You're not on Instagram anymore, are you?
No, I was done. I seen a couple posts and I was like, you know what, I'm just done with this too.
Really?
Yeah.
Instagram was becoming too political as well.
Yeah, it just is like I just don't need it. Like it's one of those things where like when what people are posting are my friends, and if what you're posting is changing like what I think about you, like I would just rather not know because I'm not. I don't. It's like kind of what Kevin has harped on. Like we're not intended to know your every thought.
Yeah.
Like
but isn't it funny though that like, and we've even said it in discussion where it's just like, dude, it's okay if you don't believe the way I believe. We can still get along.
Yeah.
But when we see those posts, it does take it notches a little bit off of that person. Like, man, I cannot believe they think the way that they think.
I think it's
but the problem is we go off of a post.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you talk to him, it'd probably been different.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and that's why I just went off of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm still friends with that person and I don't, it is what it is, but I'm like, isn't Instagram supposed to be like pictures and family and then all of a sudden you're posting political stuff on it?
Yeah.
And it was one of those it was one of those if you voted for Trump you're racist kind of posts, you know what I mean? And
yes.
So I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we please just stop blanketing everybody with a single, problem? Like you can't. People are more complex than that. Like you can't simplify people to that point.
Yeah. Oh, look at this dude showing up with a mic stand like he's somebody.
I'm gonna go ahead and start the. I'm gonna start the intro.
Assembled everything in the box, right?
Hold on. Hey, Rich, let's make sure his sound's good.
How you sound? You look terrible.
How's that? How's that, homie?
It's not too bad.
Keep
Is that mic
talking
in
a
front of
little
you or
bit.
behind?
Your video is very choppy, but
I think it's his connection. Oh, that's the door
Oh,
that
that's it.
Amy busted through and said, "Get out of my office, honky." This all should be recorded.
oh, it's on YouTube, so it's there.
Oh, fantastic.
Everything you have said
Oh, crap. How far? When did we start?
from the very first sentence.
Ah, dang. Am I good? Do I still have my
Yeah, you're
job?
fine. I'm just
Go
yeah,
for
you're
it.
fine. You're fine.
What up, Kevin? Did I make a black comment in there? I
You
think I
sure did.
Oh yeah, I did. I was talking about Kevin always being late, and then I did turn it around on myself,
did.
saying you
Yep, you
you
did.
guys all have to wait on me.
Kevin,
Oh, man.
talk
Are
to
we
us
on
for a little
are
bit.
we
I
on-
was literally ready, and then I got. Now Richard cut out.
It's you, bro.
I said talk to us, Kevin.
Ready, and then I took like a 10-minute nap.
You always get naps in.
Talk.
I mean, look
talk,
at him. He looks like he's
talk,
did
talk,
nothing
talk,
but nap
talk,
for.
What'd you say, Richard?
Look at him. It looks like he's done nothing but nap. He's got like the nap beard going on, where it's all puffy, like your beard's been on your pillow for.
He always looks so happy. That's the thing about
Yeah,
Kevin.
like the one time.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
No,
Man, I can nap whenever.
you guys
Here,
ready?
just go ahead and start it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Busy.
start it.
You better get out of here, honky.
Now for something completely different.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin. Yeehaw! I just crapped my pants.
All right. I just about crapped mine. I realized I had forgotten to hit record on Adobe, but I caught it at the end there. So
Ah,
we'll just
Good.
call it what it is. I was too busy trying to look at the mic levels. So I think we're good to go there. So
yeah, Kevin sounding good. That's all that matters.
Kevin, how's it going, man?
That's all that matters is that I sound good.
Is that you sound?
It is 2020.
It's 2020.
Hey, move
It's
that
inside
mic a little
jokes.
bit closer to you. Can that mic move a little bit closer to you?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, then you kind of lift it up a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, that much
Hey.
better. I think that might be yeah. So I think Blake and I were kind of
So
having a.
it sound better now.
It does.
Like afraid to like talk loud into it because I don't know if I'm too loud or what.
Well, I'll run the balancer program at the end of it. So hopefully it'll kind of make it so that you're not screaming at everybody. So we'll. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. So yeah, Kevin's got a new setup for people that listen on audio only. So we're kind of messing with it. So if you hear a little bit,
How many
Go ahead.
episodes are we in? Our
So
boy
we have
finally got a mic?
91 posted. So this is 92.
92.
Yeah, so 8 more until Amy Johnson's on.
Uh-oh. Special guest on episode 100.
Have you talked to her yet, Kevin?
Oh, personality.
Have you told her?
Get her a nice on. Yeah, I told her.
Okay. And she seems to be game.
Thinks I'm joking.
Now the
Yeah.
last time
She's
you were
right.
in this room, she busted open that door and told you to get out of her office.
It was like stone cold, but when the door, like you heard the glass and everything.
Could you imagine?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. If you guys had one intro song where every time you walk through a building and all eyes are on you, what's your intro song?
You know, for me, it used to be Chris Benoit,
You first.
but not anymore. No more Chris Benoit anything. You know, I would have to. You know what? When I was in college, I used to work out. We used to do Triple H, the game. So if we're talking just rustling intros, I would have to do that because we used to, you know, we were really gross. We used to spit out the water and everything. It was great.
You're into it.
Yep.
Yeah. So are you talking about the Triple H the game or the Triple H my time?
The Motorhead.
I don't know Triple H's.
The Motorhead. Not the King of Kings one. The game.
The one with the countdown. The green screen, Triple H. I'm thinking my time. The song my time is the Triple H one that I like.
Okay.
But we might be talking about two different things.
Well, he's got like two different
We might have
intros
to pull it
now.
up.
He's got the game intro, and then he's got the King intro. So he's got like two different intros now. But yeah. So what about yours, Kevin?
All right, so there's a lot of classics. There's a lot of good ones as far as like WWE. I really like the CM Punk one.
The cult
I
of
really like the CM Punk song. Like I just love the personality for some reason. Just because I just like the song. Like it's a real song too.
Yep.
I think I like that. But my favorite one to watch is like when The Rock would come out because it's just like that. It's that instant pop.
Yep. If you
Like, I know what you're gonna say.
That in the glass shattering, instantly, like the whole arena just starts shaking, like it's over.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Mine would probably have to be Stone Cold, like you said that because there's always that moment, you know, whatever wrestling's going on, you just hear that crash and you're just like, oh, he's coming. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna get
like,
you.
It's just that. But The Rock was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first asked the question, I was kind of thinking more along the line of like if you had a song you would play, but I don't even know if there would be a song. I like more of that glass breaking or, you know, some type of loud noise, I guess, to let you know that, you know, your boy's coming.
Yep. Easy. you about to get whooped.
Yeah, exactly. Before we kind of went live or started recording, Rich and I were actually talking about commentators. And we started talking about Marv Albert, and he was talking about how his dad could not stand him. And it just kind of got me thinking about how, like, isn't it weird that, like, just like, you know, maybe a specific athlete or whatever, like, there's just one of them. Like, I think it's amazing to become like the one, like Marv Albert, right? Like his voice is just like that voice is what sports is, especially to us, and probably even our parents' generation. It was he's been around for so long now. I say that, you know, there's only one. Obviously, there's other broadcasters, but it's just like, especially for basketball, it's like that guy was and is, and I guess still is, kind of the voice that we heard for all the finals, right? I mean, he was there for all the big games.
He was the man. He really was the man. I feel like there was some sort of scandal. I don't know what it was that kind of knocked him off. And I feel like I don't know what it was. Kevin, you're kind of shaking your head like you remember what happened.
Well, for some reason I thought it was a sex scandal. That's why I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah, I felt like he did something.
Some kind of sex scandal or something.
Yeah.
And pulled him off for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that really was the end. Like that, I don't recall ever hearing him in a major way ever again. Like other than the occasional game. I mean, because you don't really hear him anymore, do you?
I think he's back now, though. But you're right. He did go away for a long time, and then I feel like he's back.
Yeah,
that was in 1997.
Okay.
That was 1997.
Yeah.
So
that was 1997. What's funny about the Marv Albert thing yes, he was like, so he's iconic for me growing up because that was like NBA in the 90s growing up. He called the games.
Yep.
Do you
Mhm.
guys remember the pre-games with Bob Costas?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the intro to the game?
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
way better than anything.
Yeah.
Like him putting together, it's like this little 2-minute snippet, like especially the playoffs. They're putting this like 2-minute snippet together.
Highlight
And
reel.
Bob Costas is voicing that. Like that's iconic to me too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cool how
Or
like certain voices like that's like the basketball voices growing up. The football voices is like Troy Aikman and like
Mhm.
Madden and I'm trying to remember the big head guy on Fox. But they've been doing NFL forever.
real
doesn't
big
think it's
guy.
raw good.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know like Bradshaw. Was it Jimmy Johnson's on there? Michael Strahan.
Howard
Howie,
Cosell?
No,
That was a big name though.
see.
and then some. I think his name was
Joe
like,
Buck.
Oh, Joe Buck? Yeah.
Joe Buck does a lot of now and like late 90s. He was doing a lot of that, and he does a lot of baseball. So like you just hear those voices and those are synonymous to what you're watching, and it's
Right.
kind of like UFC too. The, Michael Greenberg at the beginning, and Joe Rogan's always been there.
Yeah.
And then you know all their catchphrases. So
Yeah.
it's,
But it's just wild
funny.
to be like, I mean, they're really just one of few. You know what I'm saying? That really have that, iconic level of, announcer, whatever they're called. Kevin, I meant to touch on this last week or whatever it was, but I did listen to that Tim Donahue interview podcast. And for those of you that don't know who that is, he was a referee and got caught in basically a gambling
point skimming
scandal. Yeah. But really what he was doing, which I found even more interesting, he really wasn't like calling the game a specific. Well, he was calling the game a specific way because that's what his bosses were telling him to do. So, for example, let's say it's game 6 of the finals, the refs will have a meeting and they will say, "Hey, watch out for so and so pushing off on Jordan," right? So then the game starts, and what do? You start watching whoever's pushing off on Jordan. You start calling those fouls.
Right.
So what he was doing, since he knew that information, he was then telling people, "Hey, I kind of know how this game's going to go because this is how we're being told to ref the game. So put some money on the Sonics, or the Bulls or whatever, right?" So that's the part I did kind of find interesting that like, and dude, I remember my dad saying it all the time. Like, man, these games are rigged. These refs are paid. They wanted to go to a game 7. There's so much money involved, and it is. I mean, it's true, but it really opened my mind to be like, oh my gosh, like when you really go down that rabbit hole, I mean, you almost can take the greatness of Michael Jordan and diminish it because he was basically saying, yeah, we were giving the superstars the calls because the superstars is what brings in ratings.
Yeah.
So of course we want Michael Jordan in the finals, right? Of course we want LeBron James in the final. Of course we want Steph Curry versus LeBron James in the finals, So, but but like, I don't know if there's a way to stop that. Like but that's in all of us, right? Like, we want to see the superstars in the finals. We want to see. There's nothing better than a game 7, right? It's just, I don't know. And I'm sure it's still going on.
Oh, no doubt, it's still going on. It's like NBA has got. I don't know, man. I think we kind of touched on this last week, where the NBA to me has gotten so boring and stale. It's like, other than maybe the Miami Heat coming out of nowhere last year, but even then it was like we all pretty much well knew the Lakers were probably going to win it all. I mean, there was a couple other teams that had a chance, but let's be honest.
I thought I thought this year more than any year it was up for grab. To be honest with you, because I didn't think the Lakers were going to do what they did. To me, that just showed you how great LeBron is. Because
I'd be interested to go back and see how the calls were, though. Now that you talk about that, like, you know, I'd be interested to go back and just kind of watch and just kind of see how the games were called and, you know, all the Game 7s, because this year had a lot of Game 7s. You know, I mean, gosh, the only Game 7 I don't recall was the Pacers and Heat.
Yeah, well, and that's what Tim was talking about. He was like, you know, I of course did what I was told to do because I'm at a job. I'm trying to keep my job. I want to be on the court for Game 7 in the NBA Finals. That's more recognition for me. That's more, you know, that's just showing people I'm.
Not only that, his team got to keep reffing those major games, like, because even if you look at it and even think about it now, like you're saying it, like the same couple of refs referee those, you know, those pivotal games. You know what I'm saying? They get those jobs. The group get those, so they get those assignments, right? And so they get those big money making assignments. They want to keep making money. The only thing that I feel like he did wrong was he was betting on it and giving people advice to bet on. Like, because he was actually, because it sounded like when he explained it, it actually sounded like he was doing what they were telling him to do. Am I lying, Blake?
No, that's
like any job.
That was his biggest thing. He was like, the only thing I'm upset about this, because he had to go to jail and everything. He said the only thing I'm upset about is that the NBA took no responsibility for it. They took when without a doubt, it was literally like, you're going to ref the game like this. There's a reason why we're having this meeting, right? Like, we're telling you how, no different than our boss would come to us and tell us, this is how you're going to file this paperwork or do whatever, right? Like, this is how you're going to do it. And that's, he said that's the pressure he felt that he was under. And on top of that, he was saying it's still going on today. He was like, you know, the refs you see all the time, they were part of the same stuff that I was a part of back in the day. So
by the same guys, and he felt bad because nobody backs him up. Like, once he got caught, they kind of separated him and picked him out and whoever else, and everybody shunned him. No more communication.
Yep. Yeah. And the interview that we watched him with was with Rashad Wallace, who was notorious for getting texts. And he was like flipping out because he was like, I knew it, man. I knew it. Everybody told me I was crazy. Everybody made me be the crazy mid 20-year-old, you know, and like, to hear Rashad now talk about, like, you don't know what you guys cost to me. You cost me so much money because you were giving me texts. And because of the text, I was losing endorsements because everyone painted me out as being this crazy lunatic, when in all reality, you guys were making money off of me. You know, it really, I mean, it does make you feel for the player. You know what I'm saying? Because look, they make a crap load of money, right? I mean, a crap load of money. But in all reality, they're being used. I mean, they're being used heavily by a lot of companies, you know, and local restaurants and even stuff like that, you know, bringing fans to arenas and all that, which spills over into bars and concessions and all that. You know, I mean, they really, really do make, that's why I always back the athletes. Cause I'm like, you realize how much money Peyton Manning brought to this city? Like, look at downtown. Look how nice it looks. Like, that was during, I mean, all that started happening when we were going to Super Bowls and all that, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, but yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. I was impressed, and I just happened to just look at it and I was like, I think you guys will like this. And it's one of those things that, like, it makes you think, all right, what's real? I'm saying, like, is everything being fixed like this? Like,
especially coming off the election, right? Or even the news about COVID. Like, we all are just like, what's real? What's not real? You know? Yeah. And this was another example. I was in my bedroom and I was folding laundry and I was listening to it, and I literally go, nothing's real anymore. Like, I don't know what's real. Like, I don't know what I'm watching. I don't, you know, it's like I'm watching IU up. by 30 right now. So I know that's real. I like to see that. Yeah,
Is
it's
it all
crazy,
because
man.
they want maybe up 30 because everybody wants, I mean, IU to win so Blake can be happy Thanksgiving Eve, right?
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, they're also playing Tennessee Tech, so that's why they're up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody loves
Oh,
conspiracy, though.
what's that?
I
What
said
you say?
everybody loves a good conspiracy. But everybody
Yeah.
loves a
Well,
good conspiracy.
yeah, that
But
though I don't even think I don't even think is a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Like that is just some stuff that's you know, I mean that's one man coming out and saying, "Hey, you know, it's like the magician coming out and showing you how everyone does it, right? It's just like, oh wow, like I didn't know that. Now that I know that, I'm going to view everything differently. You know, it's
Right.
I don't know, man, it's crazy. And you know, especially with gambling involved. Like, I mean, because
It's a lot of money.
now because gambling is now more relevant than it's ever been. I mean, I can make a bet right now in five minutes just by on an app, right? I mean, it used to totally be different, you know. So it's kind of crazy to think.
So I mean, to be honest, some people in those situations have more incentives to do it now than they did then. You know what I'm saying? Because they can. I mean, he was betting on the games too, right? It's like,
Well,
hey,
he said he wasn't. He said, yeah,
he wasn't.
He said
he
he
was betting on it.
well, I think this is how it goes. I'm a ref. Hey, Kevin, put 100 on the Bulls because okay, and then we're gonna split it. Give me a little something from that. You know, yeah, that's so, dude. It's so. I mean, how easy would even in college, like any sport, like how easy would it be if you're just rich and you just get in the ear of a ref and be like, hey, dude, I got you 20 grand after the game. I just need you to get 3 quick fouls on Joel Embiid because that's going to affect them for the rest of the game, right? That just 20 grand. And yeah, I mean, it's so easy. It has to be going on. It has to be in all sports, not just basketball.
That's why the only sport that's real is WWE.
Because it's not a sport at all.
Jesus, dude. It's so stupid. It's such a funny comment, though. It's like the fakest sport is the realest sport.
That's right. That's right.
Well, hey,
it's fake. That's the whole
well,
thing.
hold on.
You know,
Well, oh, hold on now. No, because there's refs. You almost have to say all sports without refs. Tennis. Well, they have umps, I guess. Golf. Golf's probably the only one.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. They've had questionable things happen in golf too. I mean, through the years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's more solely on a player. I mean, I guess they could give them better tee times or something. You know, that's not
juice a ball.
I don't think that matters. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be the hardest one, but
yeah, catch Tiger Woods cheating on his wife.
Yeah,
I'll open up the field for you right there. Just
yeah, that'll definitely do it.
So, how was the Undertaker send off?
Hey, Kevin, when you talk, you need to look at your mic, buddy. Sorry.
My bad.
That's okay.
So how was the Undertaker send off?
It was really bad. It was terrible. It was notoriously terrible. Everybody.
So the Undertaker's retired?
I mean, look, he's about as retired as in wrestling as you can get. So I think to the day, Sunday was his first match in WWE, and Sunday was like he didn't have a match, but he retired that day. And I'm kind of suspicious as to what was going on because it's kind of weird timing because it's not like a really good send off, and it's kind of weird they did it when there was no one in the audience. Like the whole thing to me just kind of is weird. Like why couldn't you wait till next summer or next year? Like if just don't have him retire and do the official ceremony then. Like why now? And really, I mean, I think when I really think about it, there might be two reasons. The first one is Vince McMahon looks bad. Like, he's got that look on your face where like one eye is bigger than the other, and his lips aren't straight. Like, just really bad. Like, the older
Just from old age.
yeah. I mean, the older you get, the less you can, your face muscles kind of tend to just do whatever the hell they want.
And there's no telling what he's taken.
Yeah, well, and
Steroids-wise.
years of yeah, exactly, years of steroids abuse, but he's still like 76 something. He's still
He's really that old,
He's
and
pretty
he's still
old.
and he still gets in the ring, doesn't he?
He's 75. I just looked it up.
okay. Yeah, he's 75. So yeah, and I mean, he got in the ring once last year, and but not to Russell. He took like a headbutt from somebody. But other than that, it's been years since he's actually done like a wrestling angle. But yeah, so I'm wondering if they just wanted to do it, and not to be morbid, before Vince died. And that's not to say Vince is
Really?
going to
Yeah.
die any minute now. Like, I don't know, but it's like, I looked at him and I was like, holy crap, he does not look good, and he
Really?
wasn't speaking well. He didn't have that, Kevin, like how when Vince was out there speaking, like he was speaking from his chest, like that. It wasn't that way.
Maybe it's his time, man.
Dude, it's really sad. Like,
It's sad to watch.
Is really sad because as much as people in the wrestling community joke about wrestling in general never going to be good until Vince dies, it's just kind of sad to watch.
So people think. So hold on. People think Vince is holding back WWE now.
Yeah, because I mean he still makes all the decisions, so everything that WWE does goes through him. So it's not like if you watch if you watch the WWE product and then you watch the NXT product, which he doesn't have a part of whatsoever, it's night and day. Like, watching NXT is like watching wrestling in the early 2000s.
So it's a lot better.
It's a lot better. It's not as good as the Attitude Era, but it's a lot better. It's like, watching the Brock Lesnar, early John Cena era, kind of wrestling.
Right.
In my opinion, at least, that's kind of how I view NXT versus the Raw and SmackDown stuff now is just so, I don't know, just not good.
Is it safe? Is it just safe? Is it more safe?
Well, I mean, you could do safe would be good, right? I just think it's sloppy. Like, the storytelling is sloppy. There's really no thought or input put into it. It's just
There's just nothing exciting going on.
There's nothing exciting. It used to be, Kevin, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember watching Monday Night Raw and being excited to see what'll happen the next Monday Night Raw? Like, they would cut it off at like an angle. Like, an angle would be midway. Like, to me, they were like they started that whole thing. If you guys ever watched a TV show where, nowadays the new thing to do is at the very end of your show reveal something.
Right.
So that you want to watch,
Yeah.
that
It's the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like wrestling did that great in the late 90s, and early 2000s, and they kind of seem to have gotten away from that kind of storytelling. So
How much of it is the characters, the wrestlers?
I mean, the wrestlers can only do what they're told, right? I mean, you're told to go out there and say this and do that. You're given a script and stick with the script, and that's that.
So is it really like that? Like, I mean, is it so? That's actually kind of interesting. Do you think they have board meetings, and I'm sure they do, right, to really break down with the wrestlers, like on the angles that they want to take, and I mean, I'm sure
There are no board meetings. It's all Vince McMahon. There are no board meetings.
So he just comes in and says,
Yep.
"Okay, John Cena, you're going to wrestle whoever, and this is exactly how it's going to go."
Yep. Vince will basically say
favorites and yeah.
Yeah, Vince will basically tell the story writers, look, this is what we're gonna do. Story writers will come up with a story. We'll give it to Vince, and Vince will say, yep, nope, yep, nope, rewrite it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's at least that's
but it used
what.
to not be that way, right? When didn't it not used to be that way when like Paul Heyman and Vince Russo, like, they ran creative or something like that?
Yeah, so before Russo went to WCW, yeah, he was, Russo was very much involved in the creative decisions and ran a lot of that kind of stuff. And Paul Heyman was, the same way when, he recently ran Monday Night Raw and he ran SmackDown for a while
Yeah.
too. You can kind of tell when Paul Heyman runs things because you start getting like these weird, risque storylines. Like the last storyline that Paul Heyman did was, you remember Rusev and his
Yeah.
wife and the whole
And
Bobby
Lana.
Lashley angle, where basically Rusev was being cheated on. Like it was like such a risque angle. Like what are you doing here?
Mhm.
So you could tell when Paul Heyman gets involved, he kind of starts going back to his ECW roots a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just and he starts taking the wrestlers that aren't as that don't quite have they're a little bit more down to earth in appearance. You know what I mean? Like they're not the big beefy dudes that are obviously our girls
Mhm.
that are obviously going to be on TV. He takes the ECW people, like the Rob
Yeah.
Van Dams, heck, the Eddie Guerreros, the Chris Benoits, those who don't necessarily look the
Outcasts.
part. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what he does.
CM Punk and all them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they said.
Mick Foley.
Yep. Yeah, that's where I'm a
man.
Paul Heyman guy came from. With CM Punk. So yeah, but I really went off on a tangent there with that. But yeah, the Undertaker retirement was really kind of sad. Like it just wasn't good at all.
I'm sure they'll do something. I listened to Errol Hawani and Daniel Cormier's. Dude, they're always talking wrestling. I really think Daniel's about to make an appearance. He's talking about Brock. Yeah, he's talking about Brock, and so Errol Hawani and Undertaker have this interesting relationship. And I didn't watch the interview, but Errol just had him on the show the other day. So Errol was like trying to talk Daniel Cormier into tag teaming with the Undertaker. They're having fun with it. So I think they're kind of sending some hints though, because I know Daniel's interest. I guarantee you're going to see Daniel Cormier versus Brock Lesnar soon.
I mean, you've seen Cain Velasquez do it. He had basically a one-off match where Brock beat the shit out of him, and then that was that.
Yeah.
I just don't think Cain had the. I don't think Cain was a good wrestler, so he wasn't kept around. But I see DC being used more than Cain. I see maybe DC coming in for an angle and then becoming a commentator. If that's really what he wants
good,
to do.
Man. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he's good. Like he's just himself. That's what I like about it. He kind of does the Joe thing where he's just kind of will crack a joke or and he knows his stuff. So I was wanting to transition a little bit, talk about the Dave Chappelle. Did you watch that, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched half of.
So for those of you who don't, well then I don't know if you didn't watch the end, then you may not have got his full point of what he was doing. So Dave Chappelle, he's a comedian, been around forever. He had a show called the Dave Chappelle Show. I think he was like 24 at the time when he wrote when he signed the contract. Well, Netflix, HBO, and I think I don't know if it was Hulu. Say it again.
CBS.
It was.
CBS.
Huh?
CBS.
CBS is re-showing it.
Yeah, and I think Hulu also. There's a few. There's a few. Yeah.
Okay. So the situation that's happening though is that they are re-showing all these shows that he made, and he's making no money off of it because of a contract that he signed when he was 24 and basically probably broke and looking for that big opportunity, whatever, right? So he just put out a little stand-up show. People consider Dave Chappelle the GOAT of comedy, for those that don't know. And he put out this little 11-minute. It's not even funny. It's just him basically just talking about what had happened to him, through his life, and kind of explain how young he was, and just started to open up people's minds of what's going on in the industry with a lot of your very talented music artists, even probably podcasters now, obviously comedians, probably even actors. They're taking these kids at the age of 18 to 21 and they're like, hey, here's whatever, $1 million, whatever, let's just say it's $100,000 a year. If you're 20, you're signing that contract. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna make $100,000. But meanwhile, they're making, $20 million a year off of you or whatever, right? And then you get a little bit older, you realize your worth, and next thing you know, they're re-releasing your material and making even more money off of it, and they have your likeness. And meanwhile, Dave's a 50-year-old man or whatever he is now, and he's just like, hey, like, this is wrong. Like, you're literally using me. Like, this is all of my material. But because of a contract I signed 20, 30 years ago when I didn't know anything, so it really just opens up your mind more to, and I've kind of known that. I've heard enough, music artists complain about how, we get no money, man. Like, yeah, great. You all know our names, but we've got 10 different hands, taking money from us. So anyways, go ahead.
It's kind of funny that like the Chappelle Show is like, he does stuff, did stuff before, like little movies and stuff like that. But the Chappelle Show is what launchpadded him, right? Like the I'm Rick James stuff, and he makes nothing off of that. And like, I can replay that stuff and watch it whenever I want. And he kind of broke that down. It was called Dave Chappelle Unforgiven. And he also kind of went into some of that stuff on his when he was on SNL. This past,
he did. That's when he first found out.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of wanted to alert everybody, like, hey, this is what's going on, and you're lucky I'm not greedy. Like, I don't need that now, but like, you guys are keeping starving artists from that. Then he came up with, he told some stories about like older comedians like buying jokes from him for like $50. Did you see that part?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really. Dave never shies away from being just brutally honest, and I think that's why he gets a lot of respect from everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
For sure. Yeah, but the other thing that he said on the special, he said Netflix found out about what was happening and that he wasn't getting any money, and Netflix pulled it from their program because they respected Dave so much. So he was like, he's so loyal to Netflix now. So, which I commend Netflix for doing that. But the whole special was him telling everyone to not watch my show. Don't watch the show. Like, do not support these platforms for taking my material and not paying me. So, it's just, I don't know. I think it's interesting to see. We talk about Rogan or whoever, but these podcasters or even these artists that are like, you know what, man. Like, I don't need all these people taking this money from me. Like, I can find, there's now outlets just like Instagram. I mean, how many people like, I always think of Will Smith. Like, they said that like Will Smith was like, had no Instagram and then just like was like, oh, let me just try this out, and immediately became like one of the top followers on Instagram. And he's learned how to use it. Like, I think of people like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. I mean, the way that they use social media and YouTube and all that stuff to they don't need that's what Rogan always says. He goes, if I had a crew of 50 people telling me what to do, this show wouldn't be what this show is. This show is the way it is because I've never listened to anybody. I've never had anybody tell me what to say, what I can't say, who to have on, who not to have on. And he goes, I think that's just why people gravitate to it, because it's real. It's just real. It's just conversations, and you guys are listening. Like, that's it. So it's just, I know we touch on this a lot, but if it does fascinate me to watch how things are changing, and I think it's going to be for the better for a lot of these people.
I think it's so much easier to do that now. It's almost like back in the day growing up, there's an underground rapper called Little Flip, and he was supposed to try to deal with like with Vibe Records or something like that. And he's like, nah, I'm just gonna produce my own stuff and have these CDs made, charge people $10, and all the money's gonna come to me. And like, he made that money. So it's like, I can compare it to that. And like, it's like, I've noticed myself, like, basically I can survive off YouTube because all my hobbies and everything I watch and listen to is on YouTube. And it's all this small stuff that I feel like that I like watching. Like, I have a wrestling guy that I watch. I got like a fantasy football guy that I watch. I got all these things that I watch, and all these people have like a Patreon and stuff like, and it's like it's small, tight knit. They keep their circle like that, and I feel like that's why the content's good. And it's like,
Yeah.
got like this little slice of happiness that nobody knows about, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
and
but
you
it's
got
easy. And they're making money and surviving off of it. They're making
Yeah.
good enough money just from doing that.
because there's only so many positions for Stephen A. Smith. There's only so many people that can get that job, right? But if you can get that following and continue to put out good content, you don't have to have ESPN backing you. Like even like Bill Simmons. I mean, that dude, he's made his own podcast. He's made his own company.
His own
Like
company.
Yeah, and he got fired from you. I don't know if he got fired or what happened with him and ESPN, but I mean he's kind of the I don't want to compare him to Joe Rogan, but as far as sports goes, I mean he has created his own industry, his own company, I guess you could say,
Empire.
The Ringer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Empire. There you go. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, it's interesting.
It gives you more options. It gives you more options than the mainstream option, and like if they know somebody and like know different information or know how to project it a different way. That's why you like him. Like I always tell you about Wilson, and I love that dude. Just the way it's his personality that keeps me drawn in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he keeps it fun. It's not like about sport, it's about life. And he'll throw in music stuff and stuff like that. It's just pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that I think is great about it too, especially for these athletes, it gives them a platform to actually talk, because you know how it is. We're all busy. We judge a basketball player by a headline that pops up on our phone. He's sitting out again, or he's lazy. He's always causing problems in the locker room, or he's but it's like then they come out on a podcast and they're like, no man, like what you guys don't understand that was happening was this.
What you say about me?
Yeah. Like Kevin Durant has a podcast out, and I've only listened like one episode about it, or one episode, but I was just like, once I started listening to it, I was just like, this has got to be great for these athletes, because now you're not getting whatever the agenda of the media is, right? Or even ESPN, you're getting it from their mouth, and they're explaining it, and they're it's just. I just think it's better. Like, we talk about what's real and what's not. Like maybe this is that turn where you're just like, okay, now we're going to really hear the news, So I don't know.
It's almost like you're getting a more behind the scenes thing. Like you can always choose what you listen to, but now you can like, hey, I just want to hear it from the horse's mouth, like how he feels about it, right?
Go ahead, Rich.
No, I was going to say anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I really don't have much to offer in this situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw you lean to the mic, and I felt like I kept cutting you off. So
no.
You had something.
Well, it's I guess I mean I've talked a lot about wrestling tonight, but it's a lot about the wrestlers. How a lot of them have their own podcast now, like Stone Cold, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, you can hear from them, what's going on, and that's the cool thing about Taker now. Is like he's been on Stone Cold's podcast twice, just telling stories that Undertaker has never shared a thing, and now to hear him just talk about his crew and Wrestler's Court and just all this stuff, and I mean things that you heard from other people, but now you're actually hearing from him. It's really cool to hear this stuff, and
being a fan, like for you to hear those, like being a fan for as long as you have, even with me with the NBA, like to hear whoever, Charles Barkley or somebody, start talking about something, like it's like, wow, like that was going on, like I had no idea, I mean, especially for wrestling, man. I mean the stuff that those guys go through.
Yeah, to hear the stories about why a match went bad. Like you'll watch a match one night and be like, oh, that match was garbage, but then the next day you hear, oh well, middle of the match, Triple H got hurt and then Kane got hurt, and then, so that's why the match was bad. Then you're like, oh well, duh. So then you kind of feel like an ass because
Or you hear stories about like how people got fired, like they didn't want to work with this guy because they felt unsafe, or like I watched a it wasn't like a podcast, it was like a mini documentary about the Undertaker, talk about it, and it was talking about the streak, right? This guy was talking about the streak and how that streak match went where Undertaker got beat. How basically the Undertaker like basically lost consciousness, like he got a concussion and didn't know where he was at, and like Brock actually carried him through that match.
Yeah,
Brock's not even known for doing that. Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of spots where you wouldn't even know because everything goes so fast. Like when they slow it down and explain what's going on, like now you know that behind the scenes you're like, shout out to Brock for like, you know, carrying him through that, and it wasn't supposed to go this way, and it ended up doing this. It's stuff like that's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's, and I mean, they really should get more respect because they are doing movie-like actions live, right? And you know, like anyone can get hurt, and they're having to whisper stuff to each other. I mean, you know, we all see it, you know, like where they'll say something, you know, what's about to happen or whatever, you know, kind of letting each other. I mean, it really is interesting when you look at wrestling like that, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy life.
Yeah.
It's funny. I watched one about it was like the '92 Royal Rumble when Flair won, and like you know how they're doing the Royal Rumble, somebody's teetering over the belt, and like they slow it down and like mute some of the audio from the crowd. Ric Flair's yelling to Tito Santana, Tito, you're supposed to hit me. So it's hilarious. Some of that stuff's hilarious.
So
you're supposed to knock me over.
So, Richard, you'll probably know this pretty well. How do you feel like the wrestlers are amongst each other? Because they're all competing to be the man, right? So if Vince is saying, you know, Roman Reigns, look at me saying somebody new. If he's going to be the champ, but all the other wrestlers are like, man, you know, they don't agree with the plot. I mean, do you think there's a lot of friction there, or do you think it's more of like a brotherhood?
So I think it's both. I think you have the wrestlers who are friends, but I think there is a lot of, because you hear stories about how. Well, I think the other day I heard a story about one of the wrestlers got admonished for being too friendly. And he was told, look, we're not friends here. We're all competing for a job. You know, you getting on the bus and trying to make jokes with other people and doing this and doing that. I forget who the wrestler was. It may have been like when The Miz started or something like that, where he was just trying to be super friendly to everybody and joke around, and he got pulled to the side by one of the guys who was like, look, we're all competing here, and, you know, nobody here really wants to be your friend, and, you know, because nobody's really anybody's friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, you have the stories of the Crews hanging out, the Triple H's, the Nashes, and HBKs. You hear those stories, but I think for the most part, there is a lot of friction, and there is a lot of competition in the back.
Now, it's like any other business. It's like any other business, right?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to be that guy, you know what I'm saying? Or you see competition coming in, you're like, well, I don't like that guy, and stuff like that. It's like any other business, I think.
But there's got to be a point where, like, let's say, you know, The Rock and Stone Cold. Like, there's got to be a point where they come together and they're just like, dude, we're killing it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that has to bring them closer.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because the success for both of them just makes the sport even brighter.
They have stories where like the top guys would hang out, like The Rock and Stone Cold, and like there was like maybe Triple H would have a corner that they all hung out in, like, and they just kind of hung out with each other. And if you know, and every once in a while they'd invite somebody else over. Like there are stories like that where
that respect is there, especially for the pioneers.
Yeah. So I think you're definitely right. There is a point where you just, you know, you're together, especially if you have like, not so much anymore, but back in the day where you would have a program against another wrestler, and that program would last a year. You know, a whole year. I mean, you go mania to mania, and these two same dudes would wrestle each other every night. You know, and they eventually would become friends, and you know, and so I think you have stories like that. But I think for the most part, you know, I think just, you know, pretty much what Kevin said. It's like any other business. You see a shiny new guy come in, and he's suddenly Vince's new toy, and everybody gets a little pissy because I've been here for 10 years, and you know, so yeah.
You know, and I mean that happens in the UFC.
Oh yeah,
too. You know.
Yeah. we're making money together, and we're at the top of the card. So hey, let's make this money together, get this mutual respect. Not only that, like Richard said, to touch on Richard said, a lot of these dudes are doing a whole bunch of house shows for months. So they're taking care of each other with these bumps and stuff and making sure the other person doesn't get hurt so they can keep making money off of these matches. So that's the only difference between them and the UFC is that like you got to take care of the other guy.
Man, I need to get my boy Isaac McKern on here and talk. He wrestled. He used to work with me, but he's done some of the local wrestling scenes and stuff, and I'm sure he's got some fun stories.
Yeah, there's some pretty big wrestling scenes, like indie wrestling scenes here in Indiana. It is kind of surprising to see what kind of wrestlers they get here. Like there's some pretty, there's some guys that used to wrestle for WWE and WCW that, you'll see come around in Indiana of all places. So yeah, it's interesting to see, and I'm pretty sure a lot of that stuff is not going on right now. So yeah,
I'm sure
it'd be interesting to talk to him for sure.
Yeah, it would be.
Come to German Park and see the Godfather wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so my wife put a shipped order in tonight, and I was just thinking to myself that has have to be the worst job ever, is to go into a grocery store and shop on Thanksgiving Eve for somebody else. The worst. I literally, the first thing I said is like, you have to tip this lady like a big amount because this is the worst job. Like I would never, ever want to do that. Ever. The worst job ever on Thanksgiving Eve. Worst job ever.
Dude,
they're probably out of stuff.
It's probably nuts.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I had friends that did it, that did the ship thing, like when the whole COVID thing hit and people were panic buying. I was like,
they probably made bank.
I hope you tip that person so well, because that poor person is probably just beside themselves tonight.
Yep.
I know you guys have done this. Like it would be the wrong job for me because like I go to the store all the time and my wife gets pissed because I either get the wrong thing or I forget it. Dude, these are some ship drivers are out there doing that, and you're just like, I know they're probably getting yelled at and stuff like that. Hey, you forgot this and this and this. Dude, like go to the store for yourself. Like you'd have found it.
Yeah, man, that's grocery shopping's the worst, dude. That's what's nice about the whole click stuff. You just let someone else go do that stuff, man.
Yep.
It's the worst. So what's on?
Go ahead.
One thing I don't like about that is like a lot of times I go in the grocery store, like I find something on sale and then I make a meal off of it. You get what I'm saying? And then like try to replace it with something else, and it's like, dude, I would never replace that like that. I would just not like buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I don't like.
But you also buy less because you're not there and just grabbing stuff that wasn't on the list. So that's where you save the money. Yeah. But then that money just goes to the tip or the delivery fee. I mean, regardless, you're spending money, man. We spend so much money on groceries. Like I literally look at my wife sometimes. I go, we have to be doing something wrong. Like this is a ridiculous amount of money. But now we do cook a lot of meals and stuff, and she has a daycare, so there's a lot of mouths to be fed around here. But still, I still am just amazed sometimes how much we spend. But
it's just the cost of food anymore. Like it's just it's ridiculous.
I really wonder, and I wouldn't want to eat out all the time.
Glass shattered.
About to get in trouble.
Oh, it's
glass shattered. Oh, she sent the daughter in. What's up, Olivia?
Get out of my office.
Not too much.
You doing good? Them volleyball skills.
Good.
She's ready to spike it on you.
Hey, what's on that Christmas list?
Um, like a record player and albums and yeah.
Is it
I don't
1980?
know.
They're back, man.
A record player?
Vinyl.
Not only that, if you look at records in the store right now, they're $40.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, isn't it weird how it just all comes around? Like, we really should never throw anything away.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just crazy.
I think they're like $15,000 right now.
15,000?
yeah. She was looking at somebody's Beanie Baby collection. They were talking about how they had like these 15K Beanie Babies.
That's
Interesting
crazy.
and all that stuff. Yeah, like she wants that, and I'm like looking at records, and I'm like, these are like $40 and $50. Like, it's stupid. Like I'm buying like $10 CDs.
Guess
Thinking that was a good
guess what my daughter's asking for?
that.
An Xbox.
Yeah,
That's the only way we're getting it. Because there's no way I can justify spending that money.
Hey,
Yeah.
she wants NBA 2K too with that.
You watch this time next year. I'm gonna be 100 pounds heavier because I'm gonna be addicted to video games, just eating cookies and popcorn. Do what?
Said, hey, that's all I've been doing for like the past 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, Richard. When I first met you, you were like 160 pounds. What happened?
Richard,
I'm just kidding.
You're gonna see Blake talking about these Facebook posts he made about trying to get used to the sticks on shooting for NBA 2K.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, I'll get too ticked off.
Don't even worry about
I'll-
playing. Don't even worry about playing UFC games. Those games are just garbage.
Oh, are they really? I
Dude.
was wondering if I would get into that. See, I don't know what other game I would get
They're
into.
so hard
Like,
to
I'm-
play. I mean, you'd probably like NBA. The golf games are pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
I mean, I'm sure I'd get into it. but
everybody
I think it's the learning curve. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not that I just want to win, but it's just like, it's that whole process of like, I got to create this player and he's got to get better. Like, you would think, like, there's part of me that says, man, I should love that. Like, I should really like, just because, you know, like I like fantasy basketball. Like, I should really like love watching my player get better. But I think it's the time. I just know that it takes so much
This
time.
is why we think that you would like it, because those games
Yeah.
have so much more in them than when we were growing up. Like, you just played one and
know.
you didn't do all that. Now it's like, man, you can make trades. Like, they really make trades. You can like create a player and develop them, and
You can simulate a
I think
season if you just want to be a head coach.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I could see enjoying it. It's just, like I said, it's just more of the time, I think. But
Yeah.
hey, so what are some like good family games? Like, are there? You know what I'm saying? That's because that's what my wife was saying. Like, well, I'm sure there's some good family games where we can all play together, but I don't know if there is or not.
Well, I mean, you could play. So basically, any of the Lego games are, you know, pretty family friendly. But those are really only 2-player games. But they have there's party games out there like Jack in the Box, and there's like I don't know if you guys are like karaoke people. There's like those kind of games.
My girls would like that.
Yeah, and then there are even like you can even buy board games like Monopoly and all that. I mean, it's, you know,
Olivia does some dance games like the Dance Dance Revolution games.
yeah, and the Just Dance, and they have like the more popular songs on there.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, there's plenty of stuff. I mean, my daughter plays like there's Disneyland games. My daughter plays.
So do you think in the future, do you think game systems in general will change at all?
Yeah,
Like, especially with the virtual reality now.
so I think the virtual reality thing is too niche right now. I mean, we're probably a ways into that. It seemed to have come on strong for about a year or two, but then it just went away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've seen some stuff out there, so I was kind of curious if that was like the new way to play games where you have this headgear on, you can fight or whatever. It'd be more of a workout. I think too many people like to do this, right? It's not that big of a workout.
I guess it depends upon what you do. I mean, it could be a mental. I mean, a lot of games are. I think Kevin can even, attest to this. A lot of games are math and mental. Like, you have to figure out, if you're playing a game that's even, simple as an RPG, you understand your numbers and your math and your percentages and all that, and then and then the mental dexterity, things like that, and not to talk about like some sort of a real NBA player because you're good at NBA 2K or anything, but there's a lot of games out there that are puzzle based and things. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I understand all that.
And I mean, you still have some of your physical games too. Like Olivia has that Ring Fit.
Yeah.
Like it is a real workout. It is a real workout.
I wouldn't mind throwing a little bit of that in the mix.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know
if you guys were serious about it, I would think that you would need to and maybe you can talk to me and Richard, weigh your options of what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
don't play that much money and not play it.
I'm sure we'll play it. I'm sure. Look, my daughter plays games all the time, rather on her phone or her computer. There's no doubt in my mind. Like I told Nika, I just don't want it to be another thing that they're obsessed with and addicted with and fighting over. Why I want to play out. I get enough of that with all the other pads that we have in this stinking house. So that's kind of my biggest thing. It's just but then again, if you're going to sit there and watch a movie, or if you're going to sit there and play video games, like part of me says the video games might be better for you because you are strategizing, you are trying to build something, you're being creative. Like you guys said, there's maybe some math involved, or even if you become good at a basketball game, you're still getting good at something. You're learning how to, pass at the right moment, stuff like that. So there's eye-hand coordination stuff. I mean, there's positives in everything. Now, sitting there for hours upon hours, which, we're not going to allow that. So, I guess it shouldn't be that big of a threat. But yeah, so, there was part of me that said, do we just buy something used and old, or do we just buy the best of the best and be done with it?
I would maybe look at getting a Switch.
Switch?
Unless you guys have one.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's the side that I'm thinking that you guys are on. They got a lot of party games for
Mario Party. Yeah, I mean, you got Mario Party. Most of your Mario games are multiplayer. Mario Kart. If they like Minecraft, they can play Minecraft together on there.
I love that.
There's, you can get. So as soon as you get it, you already get 2 controllers with it, and then you can buy, another set of Joy-Cons, and then you have 4. I mean,
now can I do the NBA on all that too?
That's how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So get this, because she said that she wanted the Xbox. I don't know if there was a reason why she said the Xbox.
Figure out why an Xbox. Say, what is it about an Xbox that you want? And see what her answer is, because sometimes it might just be...
You should research what she wants, definitely.
Yeah, because it might just be she thinks Mario's on Xbox, then right there's your answer. Just get her a Switch.
Yeah. Is the Switch cheaper?
It's like, I think they're selling a bundle for $299 that comes with Mario Kart, maybe?
And that comes with Mario Kart right now.
Yeah.
And that's Mario Kart's $60.
And it's a 4-player game.
So what's the Switch compared to? I mean, is it just like the Xbox or the PlayStation? It's just a different,
it's Nintendo.
Whole different game console.
Yeah, it's Nintendo. It's
Nintendo based.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as.
And not only that. Hey, Richard.
As I say, it's not as online friendly. Like, you're not gonna get online and play a bunch of basketball games, but it doesn't sound like you want to do that anyways. Really, you kind of just want to get on there and.
But I might, and that's my I think Dirty, I think my cousin Easton, I think they all got Xbox, so they're always playing online, and I just, they always tell me, man, you gotta start playing this, and I just, but I like it. Like when I see them do it, I'm like, man, that would be fun playing video games, and no different than the 3 of us talking now. You're just talking crap to each other or whatever, but so yeah, so there's part of me that kind of, if I'm gonna go,
you might have to get both.
No, dude. No, I ain't doing all that, bro. This time next year, dude, I'm gonna be 100 pounds. I'm gonna have all the consoles. I'm gonna be addicted to video games.
Hey.
No, Richard, this is Richard's hot topic. He's like, bro, don't offend me, man. Don't offend me.
It's all good. Nope. It's all right. I know what I am.
No, I'm not. I'm not even saying that. You look the same
I know.
since I've always known you.
I haven't gained a pound in COVID. I'll say that much right now. Like I haven't gained.
You
any
did
weight.
what?
I haven't gained
You
any
haven't?
weight in COVID, which I'm pretty proud of.
Hey, hey,
So-
and I bet your thumbs have gotten a lot stronger,
dude,
especially with
it's
this
been
new
great.
job.
Yep.
Richard's like bawling over there. He doesn't have to do anything. Oh,
That's
man.
awesome.
That's funny, dude.
You definitely want something if you have a group of friends. You still want the same compatibility, right? Because that's what I like
Yeah.
about the Switch is my brother has a Switch. I can be home, he can be at wherever he's at. We can play each other, right? So that's some benefits. Like you want some cross compatibility. I really think you just need to compare like what they want and what you want, and kind of got to get that merger. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna work for both of you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, because if I can
I think
hit
that's
you,
where you're at.
if I can hit you up and like, hey, Kevin or Richard, let's play NBA 2K or whatever.
Mhm.
I would probably want to do that. I see a lot of fun in that. So is that Xbox or is that Switch or is that both?
You would probably want an Xbox if you want to
mean-
play with friends.
I'm gonna be in my garage
Well,
just playing video games, dude. I can
here's the
see my
good thing.
future.
With the new Xbox just came out. You could probably get you could probably get an Xbox One S. I seen them on offer up for like $120.
Oh, really?
So they're not that bad, and that includes a controller. So you're not spending $500.
Just one?
Yeah. You're not gonna get. Yeah, they're like $60 a pop, so no one's gonna hand you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
yeah. So I mean, you could get
So if I buy a new Xbox, is that coming with two controllers?
no.
Seriously?
No,
Yeah,
that's
they don't do that
long
no more.
gone, dude.
Yeah.
It's like buying a car and then you got to buy the wheels with it.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean,
come on,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, you gotta put the tires on the bad boy.
yeah,
Hey,
Package.
this is why I don't do video games. I guess
yeah.
sounds like another
Sounds like
expensive
you're-
hobby I don't need.
It sounds like you're about to do it though. It doesn't sound that expensive though now, does it? And then he could get a Game Pass, right? How much,
Yeah.
Richard?
That's what I was saying. Like you could still get them their Switch, but then you can grab an Xbox for $100. And then,
Oh, I
and then
see what
you
you're
can play
saying.
that. Like you can get an Xbox One S for $100, which is a decent console. It does 4K, and it's a decent
Right.
console.
That's probably all I need.
Yeah, and then you can get your Game Pass or whatever, and then there you go. That's all you need. Because to play online, you got to pay. It's not you can't just hop on the Xbox and play online with your friends. They make you pay.
But if you get the Game Pass, then you don't.
yeah,
then
it's just
that
like a
all that-
Netflix subscription. So the Game Pass gives you like access to like a video game library. And so it'll
How much is it?
So I think if you get it on sale, I just bought 3 months worth for $20. So or if you decide to go monthly and not do something like that, it's $15 a month. So if it's something you do like
So it's like Netflix. But
yeah, and they
Yeah.
actually just added EA games onto the Game Pass. So they have like Madden, NBA Live. There's like Roy McIlroy golf or something on there.
Oh yeah.
And UFC games were on there. And basically you just load it up and play the game. You got to download it, but yeah.
Is NBA Street on there? Because that used to be my jam.
No.
Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys ever play? Oh, dude, I was
Yeah.
the bomb at that game.
what else you talking about?
Huh?
So old.
Oh, it's so
That
awesome.
sounds like so old.
Yeah. I might as well talk about Tecmo Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember when Bo Jackson, you can run all the way down to the field and come back?
Oh yeah.
Bo
Who
Jackson.
scored?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. But yeah, you just pick the Raiders and it's just a guaranteed victory. Pretty much.
Uh,
All right. Well, I thought we were gonna talk about some Thanksgiving. I know we gotta wrap up here. So what's on the Thanksgiving plate tomorrow?
Kevin, go ahead, man.
We are actually this Mexican theme. We're having Mexican food tomorrow.
Really?
We're not like your standard. Yeah, your traditional Thanksgiving.
Not at this house.
I think it's just lazy.
Is that how it's always been?
It's
Like,
lazy.
yeah, yeah.
It's
like
that's
the
how
last
it's-
couple of years. So
So what do you do? So every year do you guys just pick a different food?
and you can do like Italian stuff like that. We're trying to get into like something different. It's just Thanksgiving. All that is just eat food together, right? It don't have to be turkey
Yeah.
every year, man. That's gross.
Whatever, dude. Think about the pilgrims. I don't know.
What's on the menu for you guys?
Man, we well, we had my family's, or yeah, I guess my side of the family, last or Saturday. Unfortunately, like my cousin couldn't make it. My cousin's got COVID. Actually, my cousin Derek, that was supposed to come here from Texas, he changed that plans because our side of the family that I mentioned last week wasn't going to come. So he was like, look, if the whole family's not getting together, I'm going to stay home. But he was supposed to go to Tennessee to see his sister and brother-in-law and meet his mom there. And like the day before, like he was FaceTiming us. He was like, yeah, he goes, I feel great. Like there's nothing wrong with me, but I tested positive. And, so now I don't know if I should go to Tennessee, yada, yada. Well, I texted him today, the last few days, and I was like, how you feeling? And he's like, dude, this sucks. He's like, this sucks. He's like, I don't know how I got it because he's been working from home, and all that. I mean, it's just, he's like, I was doing all the precautions. It's just, that's why I'm just like, even like with the totals that you kind of send out to kind of show us what's going on, Richard, I'm just like, okay, but there's nothing we can do. Like you're either going to get it or you're not, it seems like, I mean, I think the majority of people are taking, precautions, but it just seems to be that disease that you're either going to get it or you're not. And I don't know, man. So yeah, so he's hurting, but yeah, so we had our Saturday, and dude, it's just such a good plate of food, man. I was joking. I was like, all I do is just start from the outside and I scoop to the middle, and whatever comes up on that fork, I throw in my mouth, baby. It's green beans mixed with mac and cheese with corn casserole and turkey and dressing and gravy, dude. It's fantastic. It's my favorite meal of the year, man. I love it. So there you go. I get hyped for it. I ain't trying to eat no Mexican food.
Nope.
Get that burrito out of here.
Yep.
I can go to Chipotle any day of the week.
Enchiladas.
What about you, Rich? What's on that plate?
Oh, we're getting a turkey and a ham, and just basically like you, Blake, just everything: potato salad, macaroni salad, eggs, rolls.
It makes me so happy.
Yep, just gonna be, Yep, and then passed out.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my wife made a homemade pumpkin pie, like straight from the pumpkins that we had for Halloween.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was so good, dude. And she made her own whipped cream. I was like, "Who are you, Betty Crocker?" Yeah, it was awesome. It was good. So she started selling Pampered Chef, and she's become a cook. Like, thank God for Pampered Chef.
He's following the directions.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that time of year though, where we do holiday things. So you guys, do you guys do anything around the holidays? Or do you guys have like anything you do every year, or you just kind of let it ride?
We just get together with family.
We kind of do the same thing. Get together with family. Last couple of Thanksgivings, we went actually to like Brown County, rented a cabin with the in-laws, and like we just do it there. Watch football and stuff like that. That's like the big thing we do. We've done the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Together. Just get together with family, watch some football, and chill.
Yep.
What's up?
Let's get ready for those numbers to soar, fellas.
What's that?
It's COVID numbers. Let's get ready for those bad boys to soar.
Oh, yeah, those COVID numbers.
I was telling somebody, I was like, they're gonna get up to 10 to 15,000 a day come 2 weeks from now. It's especially with Black Friday, and like people are gonna be nuts.
Hopefully not, man.
Yeah, it's great. It almost seems like it spiked for Halloween.
Yep.
Like we had, like it just rose from there,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like no turning back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like no turning back. It's gonna be up till Christmas, and then
Yep.
by the time Christmas comes, we'll have that vaccine.
Yeah, till those
So-
vaccines show up, and I'm gonna hook that shit to my veins. I'm done.
Yeah.
But doesn't the vaccine make you get sick though?
They give you a vaccine is basically a dead version of the virus. It's just like what the flu is. It's a dead version that
Almost like the flu shot, right? You build up the antibodies.
your body learns how to deal with it, and it can't fight back because it's dead. So that's
So now will some people have a bad reaction to that though?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Is that going to be a concern?
I mean, look, they've done the testing that they can. The thing to keep in mind is the flu shot is different every year. You don't get the same strain of flu every year. That's why it's only about 70% effective, is because the strain for the flu is different every year. COVID, however, is the exact same so far. Let's just say that.
So
So
Is
far,
that why they're
yeah.
saying it's like 95% effective?
Yeah, they're saying the what they've made is about 95% effective. But it's like anything else, right, Blake? It's like, I mean, I have an affection to cinnamon. When I eat cinnamon, I can die. Like it's just.
Oh wow.
I mean, it just happens.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Have any French toast?
No, I'm allergic to cinnamon.
Shit.
So
I
I am.
This completely changed everything we thought about you, Richard.
I can't have cinnamon, man.
No cinnamon toast crunch for you?
No, none of it. None of it.
Oh.
None of it.
Look at Kevin. He's killing me, dude. He's
None of
like,
it.
he
It
can't even
sucks.
imagine a life without cinnamon.
I live
No
it.
cinnamon rolls.
Nope.
No cinnamon toast.
Nope. None of it.
Oh,
My wife has to
We
go
need
to
to-
like her parents' house to make. My wife had to
We
go
need
to
to
her
pray
parents'
for
house
you.
today to make cinnamon stuff for Thanksgiving.
No snickerdoodles.
Nope.
oh, you can't even get it in there. Isn't that so weird how everyone's
I
bodies
can't
are
eat.
so
I can't eat
different,
pumpkin
dude.
pie because it has cinnamon in it.
Oh,
None of it. None of it.
I mean, it's like, some people with peanuts, peanut allergy. I mean, people can.
That's death.
Dude.
That's a
Like,
deadly.
like those are the things I always think about, man. Like, especially not having a kid or anything like that has, major allergics. I'm so thankful that I have somewhat decent health. It's like,
Mhm.
oh,
Feel like you won the lottery some days.
But
Dude.
it's easier to spot out like peanut butter and peanuts, but like cinnamon, it can be in
Cinnamon.
anything.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
That's the
like a
thing,
sweet,
cinnamon can be in
like a
anything.
It
like a
is.
sweet potato with like cinnamon and brown sugar on it. Oh,
Can't do it.
it's a piece of heaven, dude.
Yep.
I'm gonna tear that
It's
up
like if-
tomorrow.
Like I don't eat sweet potatoes from Texas
Like
Roadhouse. or
basically, you can't have any desserts.
nothing with cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could eat.
You just have
chocolate.
to check.
Yeah, I gotta check, or if I think, I just don't eat it. Like it's just
Yeah, it's
one of
not
those
worth it.
things. Yep. So Yeah.
Cinnamon for Thanksgiving. That's the name of the podcast this
that's
week.
right.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, cinnamon for Thanksgiving.
People rock my world, man. Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I know.
Nice.
I love how you first went to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I was thinking like cinnamon rolls, cinnamon toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's in
Yeah.
my top three cereals, cinnamon toast crunch, man.
I need to give me. I'm about to
Can't
go to the
even
grocery
explain.
store right now.
Uh-huh.
I will deal with Thanksgiving traffic for some cinnamon toast crunch right now. That cold
I'm
milk when you
about to
crunch
pour out-
down.
Yeah, I'm about to pour out a box for like a 40 of cinnamon toast crunch
For my
Richard.
homies. Every time you get a bowl of cinnamon toast crunch, you gotta pour a bowl out for Richard. That's hilarious.
And then you have to eat it because I
Oh,
can't.
Eat this for Richard.
Yep. That's
Cinnamon
funny.
toast crunch strong.
That's good.
Crazy.
All right, ready.
Well,
to wrap?
boys, have a good Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah,
Enjoy some family time. Stay healthy.
Kevin, you're working, right? You're
working tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Not
I got
tomorrow,
the-
nope.
Oh no, okay.
Okay. All
I
right.
got the next 2 days off. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Boy, did I need it.
Yeah. Well, that'll be another podcast.
Yeah, last minute they came with
Yeah, that's a whole nother hour special. I don't. My battery's about to die on my computer.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, last minute they came with not working on Thanksgiving, so we're loving that.